Welcome to the 7-Step Pathway to Profit Formula series. My name is Michael Barbarita from Next Step CFO, and throughout this series, we'll explore the 80-20 rule and how it can result in more time freedom and consistent profits. Each episode will break down key strategies to boost efficiency, increase profits, and help you get your time back. Let's dive in and start your journey to more time freedom and consistent profits.
So when you look at this 7-step profit formula, I would be very interested, and I know you're going to go through this methodically, and Michael, I think we'll have some questions from the audience, but I would be very interested at how the 27-year-old entrepreneur would have implemented on these 7 steps. Do you think it would have accelerated the business growth? Would it have gotten you closer to the destiny? I would so love your perspectives on that, but yeah, feel free to continue.
One of the things is I really sat down and really tried to find where the drivers were. And that's what these 7 steps are. They're the drivers that drive the revenue, and they drive it in a very leveraged way if one focuses on them. If one doesn't, then basically go back to what you're doing now for the most part, because we've interviewed a lot of business owners and we've seen a lot of overwhelm, and we see them working on things that aren't moving the needle. But if you focus on these 7 steps, I don't think you can help but move the needle. So let me go through those. Step 1 is you need to work on it and focus on generating more leads, preferably through the conversion formula. Now, we've talked about the conversion formula before, and I'm going to go through it again because it is absolutely critical for the first couple of steps of this 7-step pathway to profit formula. The conversion formula plays a key role in the first 2 steps. Let me explain the conversion formula again. As we've been saying in a few of our shows, the key to successful marketing is that you have to enter the conversation taking place in the head of the prospect. Well, how do you do that? Chucky and I, when we were writing our book, is that you can enter the conversation taking place in the buyer's mind because it's centered around 2 things: the problem the prospect has and doesn't want, and the solution that they want that they can't find. And we simply enter the conversation in the buyer's mind strategically by using what we call the conversion formula. Now, here's the thing about the conversion formula. It's a 4-part formula that allows you to address the prospect's problem and solution and do it at just the right time, just like if you were in the prospect's mind. And it has to be followed just like any other formula or mathematical formula, if you will, with all 4 parts executing in the right order. Otherwise, it falls apart, doesn't work. So here's that formula very quickly again, in review, what we've talked about in other shows. The conversion formula starts with what we call the captivate. That's the headline, which happens to be the problem that the customer has and doesn't want. And it's designed to stop the prospect in their tracks because it is addressing the problem. And it interrupts them, if you will. And this headline or problem is the first thing that you say out of your mouth or that a person sees or hears from you or your business. It must really identify the problem they have because you basically only have a few seconds to keep their attention. So it's really got to focus in on that problem. And then fascinate, is that's the second step of the conversion formula. Now that you've interrupted the prospect with the problem, we have to keep their attention and we have to engage them with the subheadline or the second thing that they see, which happens to be a quick solution to that problem that they can't find. And this is how you enter the conversation the prospects are having in their minds: the captivate and fascinate, the problem and the solution. Now that you have their attention, and by the way, we call these first 2 steps of the conversion formula the position of market dominance. So you need to get that position of market dominance right, that captivate and fascinate, that problem and solution. You have to get that right. Then once you get that right, you now have the time to educate the prospect. Based on that, we have more time to give that prospect more information about how we go about solving that problem. And then finally, the close, that's the 4th component of the conversion formula. And that has to be very compelling and so irresistible that the prospect would be foolish not to take it. And we'll go over that in a minute, the irresistible offers. So let me show you how the conversion formula does the heavy lifting by following the way people buy. And people buy based on emotion and then back up that emotion logically. You see, if we break down the conversion formula, the first 2 components, which is the problem the customer has and doesn't want, and the solution they want that they can't find, that touches the prospect's emotion. And then the educate, which goes into a little bit more detail on how that problem is solved, that's the logic behind making the purchase. And then, of course, then there's the close. So you see how the conversion formula actually follows the path to which a buyer buys. They buy emotionally and then back that up logically. The emotional triggers is the captivate and fascinate, the problem and the solution. The logical trigger is the educate, and then you hit them with the close. So step 2 of the 7-step pathway to profit formula is focusing on conversions. Now that I have my lead, how do I convert that lead into my sales process, whatever that process is?
A couple of really quick questions. So, step 1, applicability across industries. So it seems like what they're saying, and I'm consolidating a couple of different questions here. So it seems like they're saying, would this apply across industries? And the answer to that would probably be what, Michael?
Yes, absolutely. These 7 areas that you must focus on that leverages 80% of the revenue, they cover every industry. I don't know of an industry that they don't cover. As far as step 2 goes, where you're focusing on conversion, this is how you convert that lead, which is step 1, generating more leads, converting that lead into your sales process and whatever that sales process is. And so the conversion formula helps you get through step 1 and step 2. Because if you identify the problem and solution, the prospect wants to know more. And that's where the educate comes in. And that's the conversion. And so you're getting them into your sales process. And that's converting them from a lead into the sales process. Now, keep in mind that the conversion formula doesn't have to be just through digital marketing. It could be a networking scenario. It could be a radio ad. It could be a newspaper ad, a billboard, and of course, all forms of digital marketing. We've actually had a couple of clients, Chucky, who even put their position of market dominance to captivate and fascinate in their incoming voicemail message, or a live operator even taking an incoming call. It could be in any form of communication with the customer.
Thanks for tuning in. If you're ready for the next step, be sure to subscribe and stay connected. We're here to help you maximize efficiency, boost profits, and reclaim your time. Don't forget to check out the next episode, and I'll see you there.